Firstly, I'd like to thank Aki for organizing it in our tea hub, and I'm glad you guys like it. And I was also very, very surprised when she told me that all of you all are from Hyderabad. Is that right? Yes. See, ISB is a partner in tea hub. I don't know if you know this, but in fact, all the business mentorship that happens in tea hub is actually from ISB. So we are very, very proud of the fact that we have a wonderful facility like ISB in our own city. So firstly, congratulations to all of you for your entrepreneurial zeal, for your entrepreneurial spirit, for wanting to do something really different. I think this will definitely send out a great message to the rest of the women who are out there and who want to do something but really don't know, or really, for lack of ideas, for lack of avenues, for lack of, a way to understand what can be done. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Facebook for this. They've chosen Hyderabad to launch Boost Your Business. And Kalpana, where is she? I have been mentioning her name, Kalpana Rajesh. Where are you? Hello. Wherever you are, I have been talking about her everywhere I went in the last 3 or 4 months. Because it's an amazing story. It's an amazing story. And there was another cake lady. What was her name? Melanie. There was Kalpana, there was Melanie. When we actually conducted the inaugural of Boost Your Business in Hyderabad in Taj Krishna, do the homemaker kind of thing, and since she just didn't want to just confine herself to that, she also created a fantastic stream of revenue, and not just a stream of revenue, but she actually, I think, employs about 240 people, is it? Or has it grown since we met last time? I'm sure it has. So she employs more than 250 plus people. So I think that's a fabulous story. Just 3 women starting off. Kalpana, her mother, I think her domestic help. They started off, and then eventually she just ramped it up, and I think it's a fabulous, fabulous story, and congratulations. And she's somebody, I think, who can just be simply emulated using something as simple as Facebook. So there was Melanie. Melanie again has about 100,000 plus followers on Facebook, and she basically creates homemade cakes. And she takes orders, she makes them, and she delivers them. And she has great demand. I don't know if she's not here, but again, another fantastic story, exactly like Kalpana. Now, the challenge is cut out. I think she had a lot of questions. I forgot more than half of them, but nevertheless, and which have actually now, with this kind of stories, which have also given us an opportunity, another avenue to pursue our entrepreneurial interests as well. But my point is this: when none of these are earth-shattering inventions and none of these are rocket sciences, how come none of this was discovered or created by one of our Indian youngsters, an Indian girl or an Indian boy? The thing is, in India, while there may be a lot of people out there who have great ideas, they just don't know, or they just didn't know what to do with them. In India, typically creativity is stifled very early. Say when you're I'm sure some of you have children, some of you are married, so I'm sure you will agree with me. I have 2 young children also. When your child comes back to you, if they're in school or college, when they come back to you, and when they say something fantastic or new, or which they think is fantastic, more often than not, we typically shoot them down. We say, okay, that's okay. You know what, go back to your books. That's the very typical response. But if you look around the world, that is, I think today, the guys who've really made a mark, someone like Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, lots of them, the youngsters, the young guys, who are in their teens, who are in their early 20s, they're the ones who are really, today, changing the face of how we work, how we live, how we communicate. So the entire intent of setting up Tea Hub was essentially to give you a platform. Whether you're a guy or a girl, as long as you have an idea. Our concept is walk in with an idea, walk out with a product. So you can walk in, you will be supported in all forms and fashions. Where we have, actually probably we are one of the few states in the country who has earmarked specific parcels for women entrepreneurs only. And in fact, we also have several very, very powerful women industrialist associations, such as Elite, such as COA. We actually give them the opportunity to actually form their own parks. In fact, I think Elite has one of its parks, all 3 of them do. All 3 of them, in fact, have their own, parks where they promote women entrepreneurship and women entrepreneurship more particularly. Also, our industrial policy is one of its kind. In fact, our industrial policy, I'll just give you three quick salient features of it, and then I'll come to the part where we also help out women entrepreneurs. The first important aspect of our industrial policy is we have a self-certification system, wherein if you want to start an enterprise, you do not actually have to seek a clearance from the government. You can go ahead, start your enterprise, simultaneously put in a piece of paper seeking clearance. And what happens after that? If you are a mega project, a mega investor is anybody who has an investment of more than $30 million or 200 crores of Indian rupees, or any industry that creates job opportunities for more than 1,000 people, or any industry which could be of strategic importance to the state. We promise you clearances in 15 days flat. And what happens if we don't deliver? Because typically, every government across the country will tell you that we have a single window policy. But the popular joke that does the rounds is there are multiple windows behind that single window, always. So what do we do differently? We do one thing very differently. If we don't deliver in 15 days, on the 16th day, your application is deemed to have been approved, deemed to have been cleared. So there is no harakiri after that. And the second thing we also do, we actually take accountability. Typically, governments promise a lot of things, but what happens if they don't deliver? What can you do as a citizen, as an entrepreneur, as an investor, as a potential investor? In other states, you can't do much, but in our state, you can. We actually stick our neck out, and we actually want to be held accountable. So therefore, what we've said is, on the 16th day, if we don't deliver for any mega investor, we are actually liable for penal action. That means you can actually take us to a court of law for not living up to the promise that we've made. If you think that's a hassle, who would go and fight in a court? If you think, then we also have another mechanism in place to make sure we are accountable. We in fact fine our bureaucrats. In fact, Jayesh Ranjan here is our IT secretary, he's an IAS officer. Any IAS officer or any bureaucrat who is responsible for delay will be fined 1,000 rupees per day from the 16th day. Again, no other state will tell you this. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of putting somebody to shame because they haven't lived up to a promise. They haven't lived up to a commitment. The third thing we also do, which is extremely different, we have an investment promotion cell attached directly to our Honorable Chief Minister's office. So if a potential investor is coming into Hyderabad or to our state, we actually receive them at the airport. We bring them directly to the Chief Minister's office. There we have an interaction, and then we ask the investor to go back to wherever they came from and apply online. And within 15 days, we'll call you back with a docket of clearances, all clearances. You don't have to run around any offices. You don't have to run around to any bureaucrats. We'll give you all clearances in one go. You may be thinking this sounds too good to be true. Is it actually working? It actually is working. In fact, we've given clearances to more than 1,000 organizations who applied in the last 6 months, is it? In the last 6 months, we've been able to attract investment of worth more than 25,000 crores. We've been able to invite more than 70,000 new jobs through this investment options that we have received in the last 6 months alone. In fact, when Amazon had decided to launch its largest offshore center outside of the United States in Hyderabad, we gave them all clearances in flat 10 days. When today you may have seen the news, Sundar Pichai has announced that Google's largest campus outside of the US will also be set up in Hyderabad. I'm just coming from Raidurgam or Inorbit Mall, where we've just launched Novartis's largest offshore center anywhere in the world. Also again in Hyderabad. Uber has decided to launch its largest operations in Hyderabad. I'm asking Aki also to shift here. You guys should help her. But Facebook India's largest operations again are also headquartered in Hyderabad. So that kind of goes to show you the potential that there is in the city. But having said all that, what do we do for women as part of this industrial policy? What we do is, in fact, along with other sections which we believe do not enjoy a level playing field, we also offer women entrepreneurs additional incentive. And I'm also happy to report, out of the thousands of students we've trained over the last 1 year, in fact, yesterday, there were kids from Adilabad, which is a remote district, and there were kids from Warangal, there were kids from Rangareddy, all of whom recently have received offers from multinational organizations. Yesterday, we gave them all offer letters as well. So for job seekers, we have Task. For job creators and budding entrepreneurs, we have T-Hub. And then for somebody who is actually a student but also wants to dabble in entrepreneurship, we actually have what is called TEP, Technology Entrepreneurship Program, in tandem with ISB, the Indian School of Business. In fact, Government of Telangana collaborates. I think Jayesh Ranjan was just there giving out certificates to more than 200 children who actually have gone through the TEP program for about 8 weeks. 2 years program where they've actually gone through that and also will get trained in writing business plans, in raising money, etc., etc. So the point I'm trying to make is, on the whole, for those of you who want to dabble in entrepreneurship, there are multiple avenues. Facebook definitely is one of them. You can boost your business using it. But for those of you who want to do more, who want to incorporate your company, I think you should go ahead and try your luck. And there is no better state than Telangana and Hyderabad, definitely, today, than, having this wonderful facility, having a wonderful city, having a proactive government. So I would urge you all